she said, do you not think that you're not killing me and your dad? And, hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I thought long and hard about the introduction that I should do to each video, just in case there's new watchers. So looking at the analytics, a lot of people are getting frustrated with my constant relapses and things like that, and they're dropping off, and I'm getting new people in. So I'm trying to make an introduction to every video, but make it as short as possible. So the best thing I can say is go watch one of the first few videos and you'll understand. But for a very brief and quick, and I'm saying that now, I'm wasting time. I've been an alcoholic for 25 plus years. I built a very good life for myself. A wife, no kids, but financially sound, no problems, a nice maritable home, pets, rescue animals, you know, really the dream life for a lot of people. I ruined it through alcohol. I'm now divorced and I'm now subject to £100,000 worth of debt. So that's essentially where we are currently, and this is my journey into sobriety. It is a weak effort, but that's what it is. Okay, so that took 1 minute 30, and I spoke about that prior. So, but yeah, for anyone that's interested, go and look at some earlier videos. You'll see. But today's video was supposed to be, or is going to be, about anxiety, and I've recorded this already once, and I spoke about bullying in my childhood. And before I realised, I'd got nowhere, and I was 18 minutes in. So I've scrapped that video and I'm starting again. So I was subject to a little bit of bullying when I was younger. Not to the extremes that I see some bullying, but name calling, you know, the odd kick and shove. I shouldn't really downplay it because it was quite bad, really. You know, I had to take different trips home from school. Just had to avoid certain individuals like the plague, you know, because if they caught me outside of school gates, you know, I don't know. But yeah, because I was so good at avoiding people, I just received a little bit of bullying in school. But just little things like, you know, being in certain situations where I'm getting things thrown at me while I'm around people that don't know that I'm being bullied. And then, like, I went to a Christmas fair once, you know, when they've got all their, like, rides outside, like the Statchets, I think they call it, roller coasters, different things like that. You know, somebody tipped a milkshake over me. Well, I know who it was. And you're just so defenseless. And I may speak on these in future videos, but for anybody that has bullied in the past or has been bullied, they will understand that these kind of mini traumas, if you want, they stay with you, because I remember them like they were yesterday. I can't tell you something, I can't tell you, if you were to say go back to 1994, the only things really that I could pick out at 1994 or 2000 or something like that, the only things that I can pick out, the defining moments of my life, I would say 80% of them were some kind of part of bullying, I think, you know. And that's sad. I don't think when kids bully, and I know when kids, like, if you're 10 and you bully, you don't really understand, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to go into the raising of children and all that kind of stuff. That's not my forte. I don't know enough about it to say, but it affects children in ways that stay with them for life almost, I'm 42 years of age, and I can tell you things, not in intricate detail, but I can tell you moments, that really I shouldn't be able to remember after all this time, but they are so ingrained in me. And, so yeah, I was a subject of bullying when I was young. To the levels of what you see today, where they get you in a park and beat you to shreds, no. But being kicked and mocked and, just making you feel fucking worthless, I think. I've had like milkshakes poured over me, I've had sweets, like the hard-boiled sweets. I remember being in places just, like, this was outside of school, just chucking them at me, waiting for a response. I remember talking to a friend at a swimming baths, and they're chucking these hard-boiled sweets at me, and they're hitting me on the head, and I'm crying and dying inside. But I know if I turn around and say, like, what the, you know what I mean? And then what that does, so I kind of accepted this punishment for many years. And I remember I blew up once, and people say, you smack the bully and it fixes everything. Did it for me? I didn't smack the bully, but I fucking stood up in anger and kind of welcomed it, and then it calmed down in that moment. But I certainly think that helped in a way, but I don't think it excluded me from certain things. I can't like I say, I can't remember those details. I can just remember the intricate details, and the intricate details are when you are made to look a fool when someone kicks you and you can't kick them back because there's 4 of them and 1 of you. And obviously you do get to a point where it doesn't matter whether there's 4 of them or 54 of them. You explode, and that's what happened in the end. But that's not the bit that I remember. The bits that I remember are the little things, where I felt like a worthless piece of crap, in those small moments. So I don't know if anxiety stems from that, because I certainly felt weak. I felt like a very weak individual, like, why can't I stand up to them? Was I feared? Was I scared because they had volume, they had numbers? I don't know. And then I drank for the following 20 years, and I do ask myself, is that why? I don't know. But let's get to what happened recently, because a lot of people are asking me about my anxiety. I don't know. I have used alcohol as medicine for so long that I have no idea whether I was anxious first and drunk later, or drunk and... I just don't know. I don't know. All I can tell you now is that I am still anxious. I feel weak. I feel pointless. And this is just me being honest and raw, which is what this channel is about, right? It's a journey, so we need to discuss it as it happens. So, as I say, I've had these problems for a long time. I never wanted to go to the doctors. I never, you've got anxiety to go to the doctors, and therefore I didn't go. I wasn't interested, But I have been since this channel started. At least that's happened, and I'm now on propranolol. That was a lot of it was for the shakes, for the for the physical withdrawals from alcohol, because I was a bit of a mess when I was trying to withdraw. And then I got these as well. So we'll see. And I get a lot of messages where people are saying, how is the tablets working for you? I don't know. I don't know, because I'm also not drinking alcohol, so I don't know whether it's the tablets that are making the difference or whether it's the reduction of alcohol making the difference, you know? I don't know. I can only really tell you how I feel now. And that's shit. I don't feel good. I don't feel good ever. No, that's a lie. I do feel good sometimes. I have, like, people have asked me about the pink cloud. The pink cloud comes, it comes, and I do like 2 or 3 hours, and I go, fucking hell, I'm going to save the world. I'm going to, and then it's gone, and I'm back to misery. So I don't know. But I did want to say, because we're 11 minutes in now, so I think it's important to talk about what I said I was going to talk about, which was the anxiety for my parents. So if you go back through the videos on my channel, you'll see that my parents have always been... Oh, the battery's dead. Shit, one sec. Okay, we're back. I just plugged in the charger. I can't remember what I was saying. I don't know what the fuck I was saying. No, I don't know. So, yeah, them tablets. Oh, I was talking about my mum, right? So, for those that are familiar with the channel, to new people, you'll have to watch previous videos. But this is a document, a diary, if you will. So people ask me questions based on a previous video or a video before, and I'm trying to answer those questions. So this might not mean a lot to someone that's watching this video as video 1. But I had my mum and dad. So for those that know, when my mum and dad come round, or my mum wants to come round on a Saturday, I go around theirs on a Sunday, which I haven't today, by the way. I made my excuses. I just have a crazy anxiety just to see them, just to communicate with them. I don't know why. Well, I do. I think it's shame, isn't it? It's shame. It's disgust. It's how you've lived your life, and you know, you want your mum and dad to be proud of you, to think the best of you, you know, and then I drink before. So I normally drink before I see them. If I don't, it's a one-off. And my mum wanted to come round. This was 3 weeks ago, I believe. I think it was 3 weeks ago. And I've relapsed since then. But I didn't want to drink, so I have to be careful, because a lot of people try and pull me up on when I say stuff. So my parents came round 2 weeks ago for a cup of tea here. I'm not talking about that time. I'm talking about a time before, this is why I said 3 weeks. When my mum came round, and I wanted to drink so bad, and I end up in this kind of fucking hell. So I end up in this kind of decision. I want to see my parents, but I'm so ashamed to be the person that I am that I think I'll drink. But drinking is killing me. So should I say no to my parents when they're in their 70s and I've only got a finite time with them? I'm a selfish human being. That is the first thing, because I am putting my feelings above their joy, right? They want to come and see me. They want to spend time with me, and I'm deciding whether or not I should, based on what I feel. I could have another 40 years to live. They could have another 3. And that plays on my mind. I don't know. Anyway, the whole point of the video was when my mum came round, I think I had drank like three strong ciders. So it's not enough to get drunk, but it was enough to elevate my mood ever so slightly, and that's what was important at the time. And she came round and we spoke about how's your cousin, how's this, how's that. We spoke about many things, because I also don't like to be asked how I am. I am what I am, you know, and I don't like yeah. So we spoke for a while, and then we got onto the drinking, and we got onto other things. And obviously my mum wants to continually ask how I am, how are you? Maybe other alcoholics can maybe say in the comments whether or not they feel the same, but I hate being asked how I am. To me, I'm just okay. I'm continually okay. Doesn't matter who asks, I'm fine. I'm managing. You don't need to ask me, it's no problem. And she asked me, and I had my cap on. So for those that watch the channel know, when the cap's on, you know I'm not doing too well. I like to cover my eyes and stuff. And we just ended up getting into a conversation, I don't know why, about, well, essentially what's going on, you know. And I could feel myself buckling, kind of under the pressure. And I said to my mum, I said, so we were sat 2 couches away. So we've got like one couch here and one couch here. She was like on this couch, and she asked me a question, and my answer was, I don't mind, like, I can't, like, I know it sounds silly and the comments will probably go mad for this, but the whole reason that I am vegan, the reason I don't consume animal products, is because I want to distend, I don't want to hurt anybody if I can help it. And that's always been kind of my DNA, my makeup, you know. I don't want to hurt anybody if I can help it. That includes humans, animals, all this kind of stuff. And I thought I was just floating through life, not hurting anybody, not realizing that I was hurting my wife, my ex-wife now, not understanding that I am, you know, hurting my friends by not seeing them, not talking to them. I mean, they might not give a shit, but you know. And I said that to my mum out loud. And when I said it, I started to break. I could feel I was breaking down. I pulled my cap down, and I said to my mum, I said, I don't mind if I hurt myself. I just don't want to hurt anybody else. As long as I don't hurt anybody else, if I destroy myself, I'm not bothered. If I destroy myself, if I die tomorrow, I'm not bothered. And I came out with some madness like that, and my mum turned around and said, she said, do you not think that you're not killing me and your dad? And that fucking, that snapped me. And you know, before I had the cap came down straight away, and she said, me and your dad are dying because we just want, you know, the best for you. And I'm just this fucking closed casket almost, you know. You don't realise sometimes. You think addiction is a selfish act. You think, you know, if you drink, like, you think that this, like, say for example, if you're an alcoholic and you steal money, you think that's the bad part. That's not the bad part. The money comes and goes. You know, it's the act. It's what's made you do that. That's and you know, I have to be honest. I think, like you say, I even knowing that, and I broke down, and just knowing that, you know, that's their thoughts of me. And I mean, God forbid, you know, if she'd have come over to hug me, she didn't. I feel like she wanted to, but she understood the situation and just allowed me to be there. My cap was down. I pulled it down. I was so angry, not angry, but emotional, you know. And some people are going to tell you that should be the rock bottom. That should be the, you know, that should be the catalyst. And a few days later, I think, because that was 3 weeks ago, so I definitely drank since. I can't remember the exact dates now, but that kind of half shows you that I'm destined to drink myself to death. There's nothing that can stop me, you know. I mean, okay, I'm doing all right now, but it's there, isn't it? It's there. It's waiting for me. I mean, if you were to ask me now, what is the most likely outcome over the course of the next few years? And if I was truthful with myself, I would say the outcome is that I am dead, and I am dead through drink. I don't want to be. I've put in, like you say, I've got my tests on. Oh, sorry, I'm back at the doctor's at the end of the month. I've got the option to do things, you know, to keep myself busy, but I'm just constantly thinking about what I need to pay, what I need to do. You know what I mean? Like the house, it's my family home. And a lot of people, and they're right, say the house needs to go, and it does. But fucking, I have such an emotional attachment to it, you know. And it doesn't make sense to sell it either, but I can't manage. So I've got the stress of not managing, you know. I'm a million miles away from where I need to be. My anxiety is high. I don't know whether or not it's... I sit in the house and I don't really do anything. And then when I go out, my anxiety peaks. And then I take tablets and it numbs me. But I don't feel okay. I never feel okay. So if I never feel okay, is anything working? Because it doesn't fucking feel like it. I don't know what to do next, you know? That's the truth. I don't know what to do next. I mean, let's say, for example, if somebody dropped, you know, 100 grand on my lap tomorrow, and I paid everybody and everything was sorted, would I be cured the way that I think I would be? No, of course. I think I may feel some sense of relief and have some breathing space, because I've got no breathing space. You know, I owe so much money, it's ridiculous. So I have no breathing space. Breathing space is going to help, of course, but there are underlying problems that need to be addressed, and I've done the doctors. I'm obviously now with STARS Alcohol and Recovery Centre. People say time, yeah, time is the greatest healer. It is. But fucking hurry up, because it's like Sunday now. I've done nothing. I've just... Anyway, I think that will do for tonight. You will hate tomorrow's video. I might even record it tonight. So, a lot of people say that I'm grifting. I didn't even know what grifting was until I googled it. But where you ask for money, this that, and the other. Look, I have a coffee link the same as everybody else. You can not have any coffee link and people can leave you super chats. YouTube take most of that money, so I'd never advise that. But I have had an email from YouTube to say that I'm eligible now for sponsorships. Now, this channel will always be honest. You know, I don't like making this kind of content. I want to make content where I'm outside a fucking gym and I'm saying, look, this was before, this is after, let's get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff that I'm hoping to produce in the next 6 months, you know. Let's go climb mountains together. Let's get loads of, you know, people that are in addiction that are quite, or in my place now, you know. I'd love somebody to drag me out of fucking bed up a mountain. I'd hate every second of it until I was there, and then I'd be like, thank you. You know, so I have been offered, so I have had an email saying memberships. So all I have to do is I just have to set up memberships. straight away, and they pay me $300. $300 is going to go a long way to pay my ex-wife next month, you know. So I don't know what I can offer you in return. A lot of people want to know about money. Maybe I just drop the videos a few days earlier. Obviously, while I'm going through addiction, I'm trying to get them out live. So when I'm 10 days sober, you should see the day when I'm 10 days sober. But maybe other things outside of that that aren't the regular updates. You know, maybe they are a little bit more exclusive for a few days. Maybe that's interesting to some people. I'm not interested in charging anybody anything because I'm not a grifter. YouTube has said $300 just by signing up. So whatever the lowest tier is, 99 cents, $1.99 or whatever for the month, I'll select that. I'll try and offer some value. I mean, if there's something that you want to see, let me know. But I'm not going to turn down $300, am I? As simple as that. So, I'd be a fool to when you owe £100,000. So it's not grifting. And I would say to anybody, you know, I think if you pay a couple of dollars or a couple of pounds a month, you should get something extra. I don't know what I can give you extra. Put it in the comments what you think is worth that. I don't know. But if I can offer it, I will do. But essentially, I get $300 just by signing up. And then for the first 30 days, I get $3 per person that subscribes. So you could subscribe for a couple of dollars and I could get $3 as like a back end payment, you know, and that's going to help me massively, you know, in order to pay my ex-wife off. So I think as kind of like an easy protocol, I think the money side of things, which a lot of people are interested in, maybe that's what I will put to those members first. Everyone will know everything that happens. It's just whether or not you're that bothered enough to listen to it 3 or 4 days prior. But again, call it grifting if you want. I'm sure the haters are going to come out in absolute full force, but I'm not going to turn down free money. I don't have any, so why would I? So, still got my pen, look. So, okay, that's all cool. Right, I'll see you all tomorrow.